Yeah.
I don't think I got it. Which email did you get it in?
It was to the group. Let's see.
Was it like on like BYU Idaho email?
It came in that link, the group chat that we've been working.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I see it.
So do you guys still see me now if I clicked out to go into my Word document? Or
yeah,
oh, good. So I shouldn't pick my nose or anything because you guys can still see me. Okay. I was going to forward you guys my my questions. I didn't know if it was easier to open up if I just sent you a PDF file on email, or what's the best way for us to discuss things.
Discuss the articles.
Well, is that what we were going to do, or we were mostly just kind of formulating our questions, right?
So
we need to do both.
Yeah, because we have the questions are due fairly soon, right?
Yeah, they're both lesson 3 and 4 applications. So the lit review and our research questions are due on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday.
We're going to talk about what all of our jobs are. I have a question. So, okay, do you want me to just invite everyone to a Google Doc right now, to a new one?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. What's this? My camera's right there, so you guys always just see my fingers. What's the lesson for these questions?
The questions are lesson 4. And then the lit review is lesson 3.
Okay, so I sent you guys my articles, a couple of them that I looked up, and then I had posted a null hypothesis as well as some social questions, just based off the reading, that we were doing, how they were like, you won't always use a null hypothesis, and then it said not to go too far ahead and be figuring out, how you're going to gather your data, but more or less just kind of come up with the questions. So that's just kind of what I threw in a PDF file, and I just forwarded that in the group email. Hopefully that's easy enough to access.
I'm going to add Justin to this, even though he's not.
Oh, you found that, Lori, the same table that it has the years and then it has like what type of vaccine or immunization and then like when they should get it?
I found that one too. The CDC one.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was pretty helpful.
Another one.
And then
there's another one made by AAFP, and I think it's like basically the same thing, just has like an extra level of acceptance.
Okay.
So did everyone get that? Okay. So for the questions, how many questions do we need to have?
It says 2 to 4 questions. So it just says brainstorm ideas or issues you would like to research, develop 2 to 4 research questions that your group would like to answer, write your research questions in a document, share it with all the members, and then one member submits group's research questions.
Does anyone have a question? Because I can read mine that I have a.
And is it more of a social question, or is it more of like a null hypothesis? Myself a little bit confused.
I would say more of just like I'm looking at your questions, and And I think it's more of like the ones at the bottom. Like, do adults obtain boosters on a routine basis? Like questions like that.
Okay. Okay.
I would say.
Okay. I was going to add one of those on the social one, you know, just kind of based off of the examples that she gave on the hand washing. So not to be, you know, redundant, but I thought the booster one could fit in there as well. And as, you know, what would be the most effective intervention program to increase booster, you know, administration or whatever. They were talking about how do you increase, you know, people washing their hands. What kind of program. So I don't know. I was just throwing that one out there as well, but it was kind of lame because I was copying hers and just inserting our topic.
Well, I think that's fine. They should guarantee like a good grade that way. So do we want to insert that one in as one of our questions? Like maybe we can just copy and paste it.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
I'll read mine. Mine's like really generic.
Is really what?
Mine's generic. I mean, I'll read it. I said, why is it that different ages affect when people should get a booster shot? Is it due to environment or strictly age? Because like
you couldn't hear you very well on my speaker. It got all garbled. So what was your question?
Why is it that different ages affect when people should get a booster shot? Is it due to environment or strictly age? And my thought process behind that was kind of like, why did they make the chart the way they made it, basically? So why is everything the way that it is on that chart? Was that just based on age or people or what? Because I know it says, I have a chart. I don't know if it's the same one as other ones, but it's like super specific to a bunch of things. Like has like men who have sex with men, kidney failure, end-stage renal disease, and like then that tells you like when you should have everything, like if you do those things. But then the CDC chart is like based on like female, male, and then just years. Versus being like super in depth. So why is 1 that was my thought process behind that question.
So when we ask questions, are we asking questions to the CDC or to physicians or to scholarly people? Or is our research that we're going out and interviewing 50 people, say, if that's, you know, the minimum number that we have to do? So if we're going out into the community, they're not going to be able to answer that question. So I'm confused as to who we're asking the questions or of what we are asking.
So this says your research questions should be interesting to you. They should be something that you do not already know. This is not intended for you to prove that you are right about some fact or issue. The questions you develop should be something that you can answer with some kind of data and analysis. You need to be able to prove or falsify each question with data. Do not get ahead of yourself at this point. What that means is do not start determining how you are going to collect data or what data you're going to collect. Simply develop your research questions. So I don't think it matters who we're writing it to, just as long as we can research it and find the answer.
Okay. Okay.
So like maybe the answer is on the CDC and we're asking a question that the CDC can answer, and then we just find the answer on the CDC or some other external source.
Have you guys taken a statistic class before?
Yep.
So I think that's where I'm making my mistake. I think having recently come out of the statistics class, I'm thinking they're asking us come up with a research question because you're going to go out and conduct this research. So it's not necessarily, you know, something that you're going to know. So I don't know how we would ask 50 people or more that question. And maybe I'm overthinking things too much, but that's where I'm getting myself confused. So
if you're talking about my question, we don't have to do my question. I just wrote down a.
No, I love your question, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't misunderstanding the assignment. Like, are we supposed to be questioning authorities on this research so that we're learning about it, or are we supposed to be taking a topic?
I think it's just a question that you have. Just
Okay,
any
so I probably
question
overthinking it then.
or
Okay.
disproven.
Okay, I'm probably just overthinking it. No.
So, I guess I could find hers. Do you want to put that one question in for Lori?
Yes. Which one? Like, do adults obtain boosters on a routine basis, or the one Lori was saying that Matt kind of went along with the hand washing?
I think it would be fine. The hand washing one. I mean, we have to have 2 to 4 questions, so.
Well, I don't think it would be bad to have more, and then just put a note at the bottom of the document and just say, like, these are all the questions that we've thought of and that, I don't know, we'd like to know, but are some like, do these work essentially?
On mine, yeah. So looking at the thing, she has 3 questions. So she's like, and the one is, do people increase their hand washing frequency after an educational class? So my whole thought, and I just started asking some people, I teach cycling, and there's a lot of people, I'm obviously an older student. And so I was just asking them, just typing, do you guys get boosters? And they're like, do we need boosters? And so most people, they were like, I get them. If do I need to go get them? So anyway, it started everybody thinking about that, and if they were current, and when the last time was they even thought about it. And then it started talking, people started talking about the flu shot, and then the conversation just kind of went wild. But my thoughts were, it might be a good question if we are talking about boosters in populations over 19, when mommy isn't taking you into the doctor to get your required immunizations, when you're no longer having to go to school and you can't get into school because you don't have your immunizations, but you're still contributing to the community wellness and illness and disease factor. So, maybe one of the questions could be, do people increase their booster immunization after an educational class about adult boosters? Why do people choose not to get boosters? I'm just taking off the hand washing thing. And then what would be the most effective intervention to improve booster administration?
I
don't know.
I know that's kind of copying essentially the hand washing thing, but right. I feel like
I didn't want to copy it, but I was throwing things out there like.
Well, but it's really prevalent. Like, I think, I don't know, like, I didn't know how many shots there were. I mean, like, I knew growing up, like, as a kid, you have number of different shots you have to get. But, like, looking at that chart that shows, like, this, at what age and what type of shot you need to get, I had no idea. And I don't know, I don't know. Maybe I'd be interested to know who actually knows they need to get booster shots when they're between 20 and 60, or even older than 60.
How are we going to find that information?
Well, I think that's what we're going to have to do. I think we have to perform the research just like we did in, these statistics classes, or at least the class I took. It wasn't through BYU. We had to come up with a question of interest. And then we had to develop that question, and then we had to go out and survey people done by, random sampling or whatever the means was. And we had to have 50 or more. And we went in teams. We went out and you canvassed.
I don't think we have to find our own data, though, because it says in the, assignment, it says it is something that you can answer with some kind of data and analysis. So it says some kind of data, which means we don't have to collect that own data ourselves. We can just find data that someone else has already had.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think it's some of both.
It even says, you need to be able to prove or falsify with the data. That's just a thing to do.
Well, see, but like if you go up into the instructions where it talks about the hypothesis, it says this null hypothesis could then be tested by observing hand washing behavior among both knowledgeable and ignorant, I love that, individuals. So see, it talks about going out and observing, and that may be what we have to do down the road. We may have to go out and, you know, ask. Do you obtain boosters on a regular basis? Yes or no? What's your age? You know, some of this could be really easy to collect, and then some of it could be really interesting. You know, we could get to the point where we handed them that chart and got people to take just a moment to read it, and then say, now that you read this, you know, would you be, oh, sorry, is that me?
Nope, that's fine, sorry.
Would you be more inclined, you know, to asking your physician the next time in your exam or whatever? I don't know. And again, maybe I'm just basing it off of a recent stat class, so that's on my mind as far as what the questions are and possibility of future assignments. So I don't know. Maybe we need to ask her.
I know. I couldn't imagine her expecting us all to go out and get a bunch of data, just because it's like there's an online class and it's like research methods and program evaluation. So like researching other programs. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure we could Google statistics on like how many adults.
Oh, I forgot. Did you guys see that she posted on her comments that I guess we're supposed to start our things with a prayer? And you guys were trying to reach me, and maybe you guys already did that. I don't know. Did you guys know something like that?
No, I did see that. I just forgot.
I didn't see it.
And then, because I guess maybe we type it up in our notes that we did, and that Justin had forwarded his notes in advance or whatever. I mean, I don't know how much.
I don't know if we submit our notes to her. I think we just submit assignments.
Oh, so maybe she was just throwing that out there as a suggestion.
Well, I had posted the link to watch this video, so I don't know if she watched it just out of curiosity. I mean, I probably won't do that in the future. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, to watch ours.
That first meeting that we had where we had to submit kind of the minutes of the meeting, you don't think we need to do that today? We just need to submit our question.
I don't think so. I'm recording it just so I can give the email to Justin so he can watch it or listen and kind of see what we discussed.
There's like not a Dropbox for that. Does that make sense? Like for
okay.
There's only a Dropbox for like the questions assignment and our like essay thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if she wanted our video, I would just post the YouTube link on the document and submit the document. But I don't think she wants that.
So on Wednesday, it's not our 5-page. Is it a 5-page paper that's due next Wednesday?
Yeah.
It's less than 5 pages.
Okay.
Because that's what I saw, is that it just can't be more than 5 pages. So we could probably do like I write a page, you write a page, you write a page and then just write a page, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Because I mean, I think like from a teaching assistant standpoint, because I'm a TA for like 4 classes, like that's usually what teachers mean, is they just don't want it to be over that amount, because sometimes students go to the extreme and they're like, oh no, this has to be like 20 pages long. But if they just put a limit, then you can kind of gauge it from there.
Sounds great. So we develop a research question, and is this different than our literary review. We're not trying to, through our literary review, answer the question.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yes, that's correct, Mary. So let's do the questions first and then move on to the literary review.
Okay.
So let's come up with maybe 2 or 3 questions.
I just posted 2 from Lori's.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to put yours in there, Nora.
Do you want to put mine?
I think we can.
Do we want 4? Because I know we don't need 5. I had to put these letters in, otherwise I wouldn't let me number them. So I just put like a random letter in.
Oh, yeah.
Did you write a question?
I
didn't, but
I didn't see that Justin did either. Did you?
I don't think he did.
So I'll just put my question in here, and we don't have to keep it.
Well, that's why I was like, we could write a few more, and then at the bottom we can just ask her.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Justin wrote a.
So which 2 did you do? Do adults obtain boosters on a routine basis?
Yeah, so you're in the document where it's at, so you could just click on it and see what we've done.
Go back over there. Okay, that's me. Okay.
I don't know if we want to put. I don't know if I want mine in. I guess because we could figure it out. I don't know how, but it was a question I had.
I think it's an interesting one. I think we can. I mean, that's one that we can research more. Like, I don't know how we could figure it out, but I think that's one we can just find research on.
Do we need to do anything about the intervention programs or education? A question: would education increase booster administration, or do you think it? Because I was just basing it off of my spin class this morning. They were like, "Oh, holy cow! I'd go in and I didn't know we were supposed to get them. Oh, I'll have to ask my doctor." So all of a sudden there was just kind of this talk. So I didn't know. Do you think that's a good question?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
Because I think it's almost mandatory, at least in the United States. You know, I mean, there's all the controversy behind immunizations and whatnot. But if you're going to put your kid in a public school or you're going to do certain things, you kind of almost have no choice when everybody's young. But as an adult, kind of have that choice. But then we have the lack.
Like if you live here on campus, you have to get a TB test. Like
Yeah.
They will lock you out of iLearn unless you go get your TB test. And they won't let you go to classes or anything like that unless you have it.
So then, then we do it when we're forced. But would we do it when it's optional? And, how much of a role does education play in our, factors of that?
So how would you want to put that? Just like, how would you want to put that question?
Does education on adult boosters affect
the frequency of, I don't know,
administration? Yeah. Does education boost boosters? I don't know. I guess you could do a play on words.
The number of,
or the frequency of.
Does education affect,
or
does it increase booster administration?
That sounds good.
Education on adult boosters increase, because we want to see if they increase, not that they get them frequently, but will they get them? Period. Increase
the amount of
increased booster administration.
Okay, so those are our questions. So Marin, are you okay with submitting those?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me create another document that I'm going to create a new one that has all of us in it, and we'll have it be our lit review. And then each of us in this document can just type up our page of what we decide today.
Okay.
Then we'll set a personal due date for our group, and then have everything be done by that. And then I don't remember who was assigned to like review it or whatever, but whoever has that job, then they can do it.
I think Justin was going to review it, and I was to do things on citations, which, guys, I suck at it. I really, really suck at it. It's something I need to get over sucking at. So I will promise you I will give you my best, but any citations that you can put together be awesome. You, on the PDF file that I forwarded you guys, I think in our lit review, do we need to maybe I put that information about there about boosters. I thought it was interesting. That just says it's not completely understood why the length of acquired immunity varies with different vaccines. Some offer lifelong immunity with only one dose, while others require boosters in order to maintain immunity. So it just talks about what a booster is and why. And so maybe sometimes that's helpful, and then we could go into, you know, this article on blah, 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 recently published, blah, 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 blah. So do you think it's important to have a little bit of a intro, so to speak? And then are we going to, if some of us came up with similar research articles, who's going to do which one?
So, okay. So, have you read the instructions, or do you want me to like read them again?
For the
Lit review. That'll help guide us a little more. So it says the instructions for this assignment are less descriptive than instructions for other assignments because the instructions need to fit each group's project. Therefore, you need to read all of the instructions carefully and then work with your group to decide how to complete the assignment for your project within the parameters provided in the instructions. So it says, as a group, complete a literature review paper. The review must incorporate at least 10 peer-reviewed documents about your topic of interest. The paper should be 5 pages or less. You may use whatever resources you need to collaborate through Hangouts. Only one member of your group will submit the literature review for your group. Okay, if you would like to see examples of a literature review, return to step 3 of blah, blah, blah document. And keep the following.
I have it open.
Okay, so you have the example.
Okay,
Yeah,
now,
well, kind of.
where are you reading from?
That's just on the iLearn.
I know. And the iLearn where? Are we in lesson 4?
That was lesson 3 she was reading from. Lesson 3 application.
It's the lit review stuff. So this is, again, it says no more than 5 pages. So I think if we do 4, we'll be good. I mean, we probably could do 3, but I think just dividing, saying every person does 1 page is the easiest way to split that up. So it's double spaced, 12-point font, 1-inch margins, include names of all members on the paper, and follow correct APA formatting. The correct APA formatting has a cover page, and so I'll just create that as soon as we do this and start discussing it. And I'll just put all of our names on it and put literature review, and then we'll start from the next one. And I'll put it as double space so we don't have to worry about it. Because after working together to research, what were you going to say?
Hmm?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, I was just going to read kind of how they tell
And-
us to write it.
Okay,
But-
did you see, not to change the subject, but under there it says, remember to keep a personal agenda of every group meeting. So I think we do. This includes decisions made, group discussions, who attended meetings, etc.
So the reason why she wants to keep that is because we have peer reviews, and so
Okay.
we review each person in this group and how much they've done for the group.
Oh,
And
okay.
so like you keep attendance of like who's there. So like
Okay.
I personally am not going to care that Justin missed one because what if I have to miss one due to work? Something like
Okay.
So-
Great. So it wasn't to submit to her, it was just for our own personal peer review thing.
yeah, so that we can
Got it.
remember for ourselves if somebody was consistently skipping meetings or if somebody wasn't having input or somebody that kind of thing.
Got it.
That's more so. And I can do that as a secretary. I can just add on to that other document we have and put like
Got it. Okay.
names, and I'll just put 3 names. I'll just do that right now. So Marin, do you want to read?
Yeah. So they give us an example of like writing a talk in church. So you look up your topic in databases and indexes, then you read the material, take notes on what it talks about or teaches, pray about how to communicate your ideas, sketch out an outline of the major points, and then fill in the details with evidence and information from your reading. So down here it just says, do not copy and cite quote after quote. Instead, develop the idea and comment on how important it is in relation to other ideas. You should not use direct quotes unless the single best way to present that piece of information is only through the quote. So yeah. So I guess essentially just pick out a few major points, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 major points in the articles you read, and then give evidence and like talk about why that evidence is important to the topic. And
Okay.
Um,
So I was looking at Justin's that he submitted, and he did his. He's got a couple of them here on hepatitis A, hepatitis B. So since he's not here, if we should we just have him go with one of his on hepatitis A?
so
well, I
he-
know 2 of them are on children, which we're not doing on children, or doing on adults. So I don't know if the hepatitis A one is not. I don't know.
I saw that, yeah, that he had in children, and then the congenital but as I was reading, because hepatitis didn't you guys all have to get a hepatitis booster to get into college? You had to prove that you'd had a recent booster. Because as an EMT too, so as an adult, I recently had to get all, new titers and boosters. So they did the titer blood work, which tells you if you have enough, of a certain level of a certain vaccine, and then whatever you're low on, they go give you the boosters for. So I know hepatitis is an adult one as well. Whether his particular article picked up on adult on this specific one that he listed, I don't know, but we could tell him, make sure you're doing the adult booster. But just because his train of thought was there, but whatever you think.
Oh, yeah. I keep thinking of the HPV. That one is, you got it.
HPV is
I did some round of 3 hepatitis shots when I was like between 11 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
But
and then I know that they do check for boosters on that. especially if you are in the medical field.
Hmm.
So I know there is some form of a suggested adult hepatitis booster, but whether those articles he pulled up involve that or not, I don't know, but I know he can find some.
How many articles does he have?
Hepatitis A booster, hepatitis B vaccine in children, and decline in antibody levels in African children 5 years after vaccine.
So which ones apply to what we're doing? Because we have to have at least 10 peer-reviewed documents about our topic. And so if he needs like 3 of them.
Well, he's going to have to go out and get other ones than what he's submitted. So if we're having to give in an assignment, that's all I was saying. Do we want to have him do it on the hepatitis booster, and then he comes up with 3 peer-reviewed articles that pertain to adult hepatitis boosters,
Do
and
we
that's
each
what he's
want
got
to
to find, and then write a page paper on those?
take like one page? I mean, one type of booster and write about it?
I don't know. I was just throwing it out there based off of that list. Because I haven't pulled up that chart. Do you guys want to do something based off the chart?
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
I like the idea of all doing a different one.
Then we're less likely to clash on having the same document.
Right.
And if
So
we
that's like, is hepatitis B on that chart? I don't have it pulled up.
So I have a different chart. Well, I'll go this.
I see hepatitis B. It says 3 doses between the ages of 19 to older than 65. So
there you go. I think it's an important one. At least it was really highly emphasized in my EMT class. And it's one of the huge things you take precautionary measures.
I think we can use this chart as one of ours. So if we make this chart as an overall one of them, then so let's just already say this is going to be one. So I'll just take this and I'll put it on our lit review. We'll make like a works cited page of this. So I'll just make a works cited page and I'll put that on it. But we're going to have this in better like format later. Like we're going to have to put it in APA. But for now, we can all just put the links. So then we can see what other people have already done to make sure that we don't do that one. So this one can be one that all of us can pull from. We all can use this one. And so then that makes 9.
So do you have it in the same Google Doc with our 3 questions or 4 questions?
I sent you a separate one, so everybody should know this.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
So Nora, what 3 articles, like what did you find research on?
So I have that same CDC one. I have there's another one, and it's by Passport Health, and it's like, it has different links, like travel vaccinations that require boosters, and it has like links to all different kinds. It has like anthrax, Hep A, Hep B, Twinrix, Japanese, and encephalitis, meningitis, polio, rabies. Like it has a bunch of them. And so if I were to click on Hep A, it would take me to like a separate thing, and it would tell me a bunch of information about what is Hep A, where does it occur, like that kind of thing. So I have that link. So just because I found that one, would it be okay if I took one of those? I guess because are we going off of the CDC thing?
I mean, there's a ton of, so hepatitis B is on that list for 19 and older. I mean, you can take any one of them. Because we're just doing adults, so we're not doing just
So what do you think if we had Justin do the HEP?
Is someone's mic?
I can't hear. There's something going on.
There's like a fuzzy sound over someone's mic.
Yeah, it sounds like a garbage truck going past or something.
Yeah.
I haven't moved.
Okay. Anyway, just what were you continuing with what you were saying? Sorry.
Well, but I like that one on travel because that's an important thing that people sometimes don't think about it as adults, or they wait till the last minute, or again, they're told they can't travel unless they have these updates. So that might be something really interesting to look at, is the, you know, travel boosters. I like that site. Like you said, it's called Passports or something like that. So that might make an interesting page if somebody wanted to, you know, do lit review on common boosters for travel.
Well, I thought we were just going to do each take one disease and have the vaccination for it, because travel has a lot of them. I'm sure I can take them all, but I mean, I'm just saying that I think we should like even.
I just didn't know if it was like a topic, like travel boosters, just as a whole. But that's fine. So are you giving Justin the hepatitis B?
Yeah. So let me create a page. Also, I'll just write Justin Hep B. I'll do Hep A. So I'll just go.
Is Hep A for 19 plus too? Sorry, I don't.
Yes, it
So many
is.
screens open. I've got them all over the place.
And then I'll just do Nora Hep A.
And I can do the DTaP. I mean, it's a common one, but it is prevalent. It's for the tetanus and pertussis.
What was the one that you just said?
DTaP. TDAP. T and then DAP. TDAP. It's your tetanus booster, but it also has something else, and pertussis, so whooping cough.
Okay. Marin, which one do you want to do?
Well, the research I found was on pertussis, so I can do other research.
Oh, okay. If you want to do that, then take the DTaP, because I haven't opened up anything. So do TDAP if you want.
Yeah, because I have like 3 or 4 articles on pertussis and like the elderly population.
Perfect.
So
is it your understanding that it was part of that TDAP?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So Justin's.
So Marin, do you want to be DTaP or TTAP? TDAP or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. So Marin's already got that good to go.
Lori, what do you want to do?
You guys see something on that chart? I'm not seeing it come up for whatever reason, and it's not pulling up on my end.
There's MMR, VAR, HZV, HPV for female. Yeah, HPV. Do you want to do for female and male?
Yeah.
I was actually finding a lot of articles on HPV. I was just looking all over for male, and how a lot of people don't think like young males need to get it.
Yeah, it's huge. I fought my boys on it. I made them go get it, and they were really angry at me, 10 years ago, because they're like, there's not enough research out there. You don't know what you're giving me and all that kind of stuff. But I was adamant on it. But yeah, so HPV, cool. I'll do male and female, and probably, big emphasis on male, because, it's associated with cervical cancer. So they automatically go, oh, excludes me. Well, they're the contributor to it. It's a sexually transmitted disease. So it's like, hey.
So if we're all doing different ones, do we all want to do just like a small paragraph on what the vaccine is, why we are given it? And that could kind of be the beginning of the lit review, and then we could go through and do each one. Does that make sense?
You mean like have an intro?
Not necessarily on the immunization itself, but the need for the booster.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if we all just do, explain what it is and why it's needed in just a smaller paragraph. That can, I don't know if we can put all that together and then go through each of the different ones.
The only thing I'm thinking about is like, I mean, like, yeah, we could have an introduction or whatever, but then we're gonna have like less than a page, or how will we like divide that? Does that make sense?
Well, so everyone still write a page. Do your like small introduction of what it is, why we need the booster, and then do your page, and then I can just format it in a way where I'll just grab the chunk of everyone's and then follow through. I mean, it should, if everyone still just writes a page, including that,
it should flow. Yeah, and then you guys can look at the PDF file that I put out there too, because again, if we want to explain why some vaccines require a booster, and here's an example of 4 vaccines that require a booster. So, because our topic is on boosters, the need for additional immunization, because some of them wear down, and then some of the diseases mutate a little bit. And so this constant update in a booster just keeps us the freshest. And the way our bodies work, like I talked about, these watchdog antibodies, sometimes, your body just, like mine, getting older, you forget things. And the immune system memory just doesn't respond as quickly as it needs to. And some of these diseases, like they talk about, can kill a person within a day. So if your body is not Johnny on the spot and doesn't have to sit there and go, did I have that before? I'm not sure. Maybe I did. Oh, I think I did. It's too late. And so you want to have the, best watchdog antibodies out there as possible. So maybe if we started with that intro as to the, why some of them need them, the importance of being updated. And here's a few examples. You got hepatitis A, you got hepatitis B, you got the ongoing DTaP and the rise in population in the elderly with pertussis. And you've got the new emerging HPV that not only affects women, but males, and blah, 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 blah. And so the paper could just kind of flow that way. But I don't know.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Not with all the other information and research, because I don't know all that, but essentially have it flow like that.
Sorry, I'm just formatting this. Okay. Oh yeah, I think that would be great. We just have to make sure that we have 10 sites. So as long as, hopefully Justin will watch this. I don't know if he'll want to watch it because we've been on it for like an hour. But
I mean, we can just tell him to find 2 more articles on HPV in adults.
You mean he's doing Hep B, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Hepatitis B. I mean, if we all just do 3, then we have 2 extra, and that's not bad to have more.
Perfect. Okay.
So then, kind of what I was thinking earlier in the week. So it's due Wednesday. So I was thinking if we have it written and sent to maybe you, Lori, by Monday night or Tuesday morning, then you can go over citations, make sure they're alphabetical, that like authors are put up in the paper itself. And then we can send it to Justin, and he can read it through, and then send it to me by Wednesday, and then I can turn it in at night.
that's good.
Okay.
So let's just say we'll have it done, let's say Monday by I don't know, doing this on Monday by like 9 p.m. or something like that. Or I guess everybody's in a different time zone.
Or you could just say by 10 your time.
Monday night. You say by 10 Monday night.
Yeah, just have your part done by 10 Monday night.
Okay.
I am putting on the bottom of our lesson 2 application assignment. I just put our attendance. I put who was here. And I put went over questions and gave out assignments for lit review. And I'll put have lit review done by Monday night at 10. We all have access to that. It's just in. I think I'm gonna make a new document with all of this, and then put us all in it, and then this can be a continuous.
You got the Google Chrome, so go in under the lit review where I see the title page, and then that's where we're gonna upload.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna make a new one for the attendance piece.
Oh, okay.
And what we go over, just so that if we want to refer back to it for other things,
Okay.
we have it there if anybody asks.
Okay. Perfect. So. So I think one page, if we're trying to, paraphrase or just, quick do a literary review on 3 scholarly articles for 1 page, we're going to have more than enough information. I think it should be easy enough to write up a single page.
Yeah, and it's double spaced.
Yeah.
So I'll put that in.
So,
Okay. I mean, what else do we want to discuss? Because we have that set up. We have each person in their own little page.
That's all.
Do we just want to write our intro right now, or how do we want to do that?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, because we probably can, just have a general intro and then kind of have, I don't know, does someone want to write a general intro? And then we can have our own little intro to each different booster on our page.
Up to you guys. What's the title of our paper? Booster immunization literary review, or
I just put literature review.
Okay.
Just because she put in the instructions, she said, I don't know. She said like she wanted. Oh yeah, so it says right here. She's like, when your final paper is ready to submit, she's like, please name your file with the lesson number, name of assignment, and your name or group name. For example, lesson 2 application -group 2. So we would put. That's why we put literature review. So then we can put like whatever lesson it is. Literature review turtles. And
Okay.
like, so when Marin submits it, that's what Marin will put. But that's why I just put literature, because that's what she said. But I guess we could put, I could put above it, I could just put booster shots. You guys see how I did that?
Mm-hmm.
We have to make sure it's all in the same font.
Okay. Booster shot, literary review.
And I kind of centered all of our names to go like, it looks nice.
Okay.
These. These are 12. So if we all can just remember that everything has to be the same font.
It's New Times Roman, right? Is that where it is? Or is it Arial?
I'm just doing Libre Baskerville, but I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Because she didn't say. I mean, do we want to do Times New Roman or Times New Roman's a really tiny font, even in comparison to Arial?
You want to just stick with Arial and just 12 point?
What font do you want?
I like Arial. Doesn't matter to me. It just has to be 12 point, right?
Yeah,
And double space.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. I didn't double space. I think I'm going to highlight all of this and make it double space. There's another format. I made it kind of weird. I'll go in and fix it. I like double spaced everything. I'll just fix it. It's just a formatting thing. Yeah, I don't think this paper will be very long. Just because it's, yeah, it's only like 4 pages or whatever, but in the end it's double spaced. So
Well, and if we each have a page, so to speak, and you've got an intro plus your works cited pages and things like that, it's we may have to cut it down even a little bit to 3/4 of a page. I mean, is your works cited page counted as the 5th page?
yeah, not usually.
Okay. So then we'd probably be okay then if we each had a page, the 4 of us, and then just did a quick intro at the beginning. Do you want me to just rewrite what I had copy and pasted off of that vaccine history website about boosters?
For what? For our introduction?
For the intro, just quick.
Did you type it in your own words?
That's what I mean. Yeah. If I just
then yeah.
I know what that is, and then you know, I don't know, do we say in an intro, you know, below is the following, or we maybe not. Maybe we just say.
I think you should just put whatever you wrote in the introduction.
Okay.
Just put it like above Justin's
Justin.
name. And then why don't you just put it in now and then we'll discuss right now. We'll all just kind of read it and then we'll discuss what we want to add.
Okay. So do you want, so I stuck it in there and then I can just work on putting it in my own words or adding and subtracting. You guys just take a look at it and yay or nay it, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Did you write this? Like, is this your own words?
No, it's a copy paste. The whole thing is.
From a website?
I had put, I can copy the website for you. I had put it in that PDF file that I sent earlier.
I think this is great. I think as long as, like, maybe could you put this, like, in your own words for an introduction? Because I think that's perfect.
I liked it. I thought it helped kind of explain what we were doing. Yeah, so I can just change it up and put it in my own words, and I can still put it as works cited as well.
Yeah, why not? Use it as
and then just add like add the vaccines that will be talked about.
Right.
So you could just, even at the end, just put like Hep A, Hep B, HPV, and the Tdap are examples of these.
Yeah, examples of a few of these.
Yeah, I think that would be perfect because I mean that perfectly describes what we're going through. So if you could just put that in our own words and then just put what we're going to be talking about, and then put like these are some examples. I think that would be perfect.
Okay.
So
I added to the works cited page where I got that from. So I just put that in the works cited here.
Perfect. Okay, so just click on, on works cited, what we're going to have to do is each individually take whatever one we put there. If we can go to EasyBib, have you heard of EasyBib? And then put them in and then have that be in.
Clean it up for us. Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so are we all good? Is there anything else we need to talk about?
I don't think so.
You can submit our questions, so that's done. Monday by 10 o'clock, everybody will have their page assignment in. I'll redraft the intro. You guys can give feedback as you get.
And we each need to have, so we have 2 down there right now. So.
Yeah, and I'll throw in a couple on HPV.
Do we each just want to have 2 sources? Because now we have 2 down there. We could each just find 2. Or do you want that one down there to be one of yours?
What do we need to do? 3, right?
Well, so we have to overall have at least 10. And so if we just use those 2, at least 2 for everybody, then everyone only has to find 2 sources.
Perfect.
So do you want to do that? So each have 2 sources for our
works. Perfect. Yay.
Sure. Okay, so I have that. It's in a document called attendance. I shared it with all of you guys and Justin.
Okay.
I put who attended, I put what we went over, and then I put the assignments, which is each have 2 sources for our assigned booster and have lit review done by Monday night at 10. And I'll put each write 1 page.
Perfect.
Yeah, each write 1-page assignment on booster according to instructions, and then everybody remembers it's double space, 12 font, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just put it in the other one.
Okay.
This is. So it just sets a reminder.
And then maybe
Okay.
just for Justin, maybe just put Justin had supplied his topic research articles and submitted in advance or something. I just don't want to make it. He just
Okay. Justin. Do the work. So then when all of us look back, we'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so are we good to go to have everything done by Monday night at 10?
Yes.
We have perfect. Anything anyone else wants to add?
I think we're good.
Thank you for hooking us up on the calls here.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for doing that. I don't even know how to do it.
I don't even,
Very simple.
obviously, I don't even know how to answer it, let alone set it up. So,
All right. Oh,
Okay.
should we schedule our next meeting real quick?
Does 1:30 work next week? Oh, wait. What is next week?
Next week would be the 9th.
Oh, crap.
When, 1:30.
No, hold. I have a doctor appointment at 10:30. I should probably be back by 1:30.
If not, just send a text and I can always push it later. I just can't go any earlier, but I can always push it later.
Is that okay with you, Lori? Like if we did maybe closer to 2?
Yeah, I'm open on Fridays, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll let you know. 1:30 should be. I should be back by 1:30 because we're just gonna go to lunch afterwards.
So I'll just put 1:30 to 2. And
Yeah.
if you need 2 o'clock, that's fine.
Okay, that works.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, have a good weekend.
All right, ladies. Thank you. Take care. All right. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.